We're going to go back into, I'd like we're going into Matthew chapter 24. Let's talk about the abomination. What is the abomination? Let's see. What will start the Great Tribulation? See, a lot of people wants to know that. What will start the Great Tribulation? The abomination that make it desolate. It will start the Great Tribulation. Because at that time, people most everybody turn their back on God. They're going to be worshiping that image. You read in Matthew chapter 24, like in verse 15. It says, "When ye therefore shall see the abomination of desolation, spoken of by Daniel the prophet, stand in the holy place, whoso read it, let him understand." See, you got to understand what is the abomination that maketh desolate. See, they're going to set up the abomination that make it desolate. They're going to kill the two witnesses, and then they're going to set up the abomination that make it desolate. And Jerusalem going to go into captivity. God tell you not to worship an image. Anything. You ain't going to, I think it's Leviticus. Leviticus chapter 26. I'm going to read this verse 1. It will tell you. It said, "Ye shall not make," it said, "Ye shall not make you no idols, nor graven image." See, tell you not to make any graven image. "Neither rear up a standing image." See, tell you not to make an image. "Neither shall ye set up an image of stone in your land, to bow down unto it. See, for I am the Lord your God." See, just like what Nebuchadnezzar did. See how he wanted everybody, he set up an image. He wanted everybody to bow down and worship it. And the whole world, Shamrach and Meshach and Abednego, didn't want to bow down. Because they knew God's commandment, because it's in the Ten Commandments. Not bow down to any graven image. See, you're worshiping another God. There's a lot of people can't see that. They bow down to image. So, I'm going to show you that in Revelation. See, that's why I tell you, like in verse 16, that's why I tell you the people that in Judea to flee to the mountain. It said, then Matthew 24 and verse 16 said, "Then let them which be in Judea flee to the mountains. Let them which is on the housetop," see, let him which is on the housetop not come down to take anything out of his house. See, Lord tells you, that they were going to set up the image, because they're going to go out war to kill the saints, all those that don't want to bow down to that image. And that's going to start the Great Tribulation. It said, "Neither let him which is in the field return back to take his clothes, and woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days. But pray ye that your flight be not in the winter time." You see, not to be in the winter time. It didn't say winter time, but I'm going to read it over. It said, "But pray ye that your flight not be in the winter, neither on the Sabbath day." See, because you're supposed to keep the Sabbath. See, because the Jewish people and everybody's supposed to be worshiping on the Sabbath day. So I said, and they will come get you. You know, you're in the temple or church or something, they will come get you. Because they're going to be making all our war against the saints. Because they don't want the saints to bow down to that image, what they were set up, like Nebuchadnezzar did. And then verse 21 say, for then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to the time to this time, no, nor ever shall be. See, there never will be a time like it. See what that beast system will do? Turn to Revelation chapter 13. It says in chapter 13. Revelation chapter 13. See that false prophet came in verse 11. He's the one that gonna cause you to set up. You're gonna call the people to, you know, to make an image. You know, want the people to bow down to that image after they make that image. See, that's the second beast. It's the false prophet. And this make a lot of these men make leaders the United States. This is the second beast in Revelation. It's not true. All right. Verse 11 said, I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. See, he had two horns like a lamb. He had the government power and the religious power. See, like Nebuchadnezzar. They all was in one. Just like with Moses. All right. That could go down to verse 14. They tell you, and deceived them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth, that they should make an image to the beast. See, he's telling the people that they should make an image to the beast. That first beast, like the, you know, the beast that like had them 4 heads. You know, the lion, the bear. See, it was the leopard. You know, the leopard had 4 heads. Now, but he had them got out from the leopard. You know, the first beast. So they once, because one of the head there got wounded to death. But he wanted some people to make an image to the head that had got wounded. See, to make an image to the beast, which had a wound by a sword and did live. See, he was wounded by a sword, he did live. But his deadly wound was healed. A lot of people say, oh, he died and came back alive. No, wasn't no die and came back alive. He said he got wounded today. He got wounded and got sick unto death like Isaiah. Let me see here. I think it happened way back then in Isaiah. Oh, it's one of those kings. Yeah. He got wounded, got sick unto Zedekiah. I think it's Zedekiah. He got sick unto death. Then he got healed. Maybe he got shot to death. He didn't die, but he got shot. You know, or got sick, about to die, but he didn't die. All right. See, in verse 15, it says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast. See the image what they set up? See, now they can make that image speak. You know, back then, like in Nebuchadnezzar time, they couldn't make no image speak. Because they didn't have that technology like they have now. See, we have that robot, you know, and stuff. You know, it can put flesh on it. You know, like Terminator. And make it speak. Make the natural man speak, then that robot, the computer speak. You know. That's all I'm showing y'all. You know. They say he had power to give life unto the image of the beast. The image of the beast should both speak and cause as many as as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. See that? It's like Nebuchadnezzar did. He'll say you should be killed if you don't want to worship it. So that's why they're going to make a war, all-out war against the saints. See, they're going to kill some of the saints. That's all I'm trying to show you. And this is where start the great tribulation. Jerusalem will go into captivity. That's why the Lord tell them, those that are in Judea to flee to the mountain. You know. And don't go back and try to get anything out of your house. When you see, when they set up that image, they're going to kill the 2 witnesses, then they're going to set up that image. And Jerusalem going to go into captivity. It's not time yet for Jerusalem to go into captivity. You know, because we're just in the first and the second beast. When we get in the United States, fight Iran, we're fighting Iran now. But when they're going to beat Iran. After they beat Iran, the Bible says his horn will be broke. Then we'll get into the third beast. Third beast going to have 4 heads, and it will rule a while. Tell you that and show you that in Daniel chapter 8. The verse, I'll start in verse 10 about the ram. You know, the ram is it's a rock and a ram. It's the ram. But they're going to break its 2 horns. See, the higher horn came up last. See, a rock horn is already broken. You got to break a ram horn. So when they break a ram horn, the U.S. break a ram horn, the Bible says his horn will be broken. Then the 4 of them will stand up for the kingdom. The third, the leopard. All right, verse 20 said, the ram which thou sawest having 2 horns are the kings of Media and Persia. As was a rock and a ram. A ram horn was higher. The higher came up last. That's why a ram is stronger than a rock. All right. And the rough goat is the king of Grecia. You know. You go with it. He goat is the United States. King of Grecia. And the great horn that is between his eyes. Eyes is the first king, like it was Bush when they broke a rock horn. Alright, and now verse 22 said, now that being broken, whereas 4 stood up for his 4 kingdoms. See, 4 must stand for his 4 kingdoms. That's the third beast. The third beast had 4 heads. And shall stand up out of the nation, out of the United Nation. But not in his power, not in the U.S. power. In verse 23 said, in the latter time of their kingdom. See, in the latter time of the 4 of them that is ruler of their kingdom. See, they're going to rule a while. That's why I'm saying that. You know, they say in the latter time of their kingdom, when the transgressor are come to the full, a king of fierce countenance and understanding of dark sentences shall stand up. See, that's the Antichrist. They're not showing the 10 horn right here. But this is showing the Antichrist right here. That's all I'm trying to show you. You know, you got to understand the scriptures. You know. But the little horn came out. You see, like in verse 8, it's reading the same thing. The last day the horn was broken. In Daniel chapter 8 and verse 8. Therefore the he-goat waxed very great, and when he was strong, the great horn was broken. And for it came up 4 notable one toward the 4 winds of heaven. That's the third beast, the leopard. That's in Daniel 7 and 6. There's the leopard, that 4 head. And say in verse 9 tell you, it say, out of one of them came for a little horn. That's the false prophet. A little horn. See, he was among the third beast, the leopard, the false prophet. That's why I say he was among the third beast. I'm trying to explain it to y'all. And say, out of one of them, one of those 4, we just read in verse 8, out of one of those 4, So out of one of them came forth a little horn, which waxed exceedingly great toward the south and toward the east and toward the pleasant land. See, the false prophet, the Antichrist. That's all I'm trying to show y'all. But we'll start the great tribulation when he goes set up that image. See how he set up that image in Revelation chapter 13. That's to make the abomination that make it desolate. When he set up that image, he's going to kill the two witnesses and he's going to set up that image. And Jerusalem going to go into captivity. He's going to want everybody to bow down to that image, or they should be killed. And he will know now if you're not bowing down to, because they got all the technology. They're watching and listening to people and they want to see people. They got a laptop, cellular phone, different things, you know, to watch people. Cameras everywhere. You don't know. See, back then, Nebuchadnezzar time say what, hear the flute, the music and stuff like that. Then everybody had to bow down. But now they can see you everywhere. But that's all I'm trying to explain to y'all. You know, this is what's going to start the Great Tribulation. And they set up an image. Now a lot of people are going to have to flee. Those that are in Judea. Because Satan will make all our war to kill them. Because the saints ain't going to want to bow down to that image. But thank y'all, and may God bless y'all and give y'all wisdom and knowledge and understanding of His Word.